What's good, what's good, what's good in the hood, and welcome back to another episode of the Good in the Hood podcast. I am, as always, your host, Juice, back again with my brothers, Jimmy Smooth and Jay Black. How y'all feeling, fam? Man, it's been pretty rough out here, man. If y'all watch the news, I'm not sure if y'all tuned into the news, but I know we all been in tune as three black men. Like, once again, the police got down on us and took one of our brothers away unjustly. I'm not exactly sure of what led to the arrest. I heard it was a counterfeit check.
Apparently, yeah, it had something to do with like counterfeit money.
And whatever it dealt with, there's no excuse for any man to have to suffer the way he suffered. I believe it was Killer Mike. He went on CNN and he said it greatly. That man killed him like a lion killing a zebra. Like the way he had his knee just in that man's neck, his hand in his pocket, just almost smiling down like Scar killing Mufasa. Like it was crazy.
At a minimum, I went. He was grossly negligent, and I go, we can argue intent all day, but at a certain point, I really go, these dudes want to feel like they Billy Badass when they put their little uniforms on, but it's like, you realize you gotta be careful with everything you do, since y'all can legally be out here killing people, because it's like, it don't seem like y'all doing your job correctly.
Exactly. It's like,
y'all kill less criminals than citizens, it seems like.
And don't get me wrong, I have respect for the job of a police officer, but with the police officers, what it has become, they think they have this authority that they do not really have. Like, you are a servant of the people, and they forget that. And time and time, especially when it comes to minorities, they treat us like shit. And it's largely because they don't let us in that situation, don't let us in that uniform, especially from our own community.
Here, I feel it's a better representation of colored people, because I know some black police. We went to school with a guy. He's a police officer. Yeah. He's black. A couple Hispanic guys that I know, they went on to be police officers. Like, I feel it's really the person that you are, though. And I feel like you gotta, if you live in that neighborhood that you work in, I think you'll give more of a fuck. But they don't care about these neighborhoods, because it's like, what I care about a neighborhood if everybody there is black and I'm racist? Or the reverse.
But like, we deal with the same two people. Those two officers are both in the city, and like,
you can tell both of them. I guarantee you, both of them. Dude probably grew up in the suburbs somewhere, had minimal interaction. Whatever interaction he did have wasn't good to him.
But like, what I'm saying is like, they're in the city, which I'm sure New York City, I'm sure all these big cities, they have a more diverse police force. Right. But like, I'm talking about like small, like Maywood or Bellwood. There are a few black cops in there, but it's like, these white cops don't live in Bellwood. They don't live in Maywood. Like honestly, I'm at a point now, because we all, like, John, you just hit the 30 mark. We finna hit 30 in a few months, and you hit it next month. And like, we're at a point now where it's like, this can be us. Like, how old was George Floyd? Like 30, 37, 42, somewhere between
something like that. I mean, like, yes, that could have been you. I don't know. I kind of always felt like it could have been me any day from like about the time I turned 15. I just went, like, once they was kind of like, man, you a big old dude. I'm like, oh, okay. So y'all see a big old dude. Let me be nice as hell, because
you just told me the story earlier about, I'm saying, what happened in front of the studio with you.
That was way back when, but one day I was just sitting in my car and they pulled us out of the car for nothing.
I'm saying, like,
I mean, took our weed, but that was beyond the point. Like, originally they just pulled up on us. We was just sitting out there, we was chilling, and then they pulled up with the heat. Like, yeah, y'all get out, get on the ground. They was on all that with us.
And one day, I'm put up on Smoothie, and maybe I just see Smoothie walking down the street one day. I spin up on Smoothie like, yo, me your ride, bro. What happened?
The police have been.
Police pulled us out, got us out the car, searched my car, like, he got a pistol. I'm like, yo, what? My man's in a full work uniform, you feel me?
They
19 years old, Joe.
But I feel like, I don't know, you have to think about, they in communities where they don't feel comfortable. I think about every time I'm in a new neighborhood, when I don't know my way around, I be like, ooh, let me be careful over here. I don't want to turn on the wrong street or whatever. But also, you know, that's how they feel. But it's like, if you feel like that, don't work that job. Go be a go be a tax dude. That's a good job. Garbage man. They make decent money.
Because as civilians, it's cool for us to say, damn, I don't feel like I gotta keep being my P's and Q's in this area. As an officer, you are supposed to be trained, you know, how to be in any scenario.
How to put your feelings and shit aside.
You can't stereotype. You can't be like, oh, that's a big black guy. I gotta take him down. Like what? No, bro. Like looking at George Floyd, like that. The fact that happened just like maybe 2 years.
And my thing be like over some counterfeit. Like damn, at least like dude, a homicidal killer, let him have a weapon. Like come on.
But remember Eric Gardner in New York. Eric Gardner was a big dude just out there selling loose squares. Cop choked him to death, so he can't breathe.
Right, like the punishment got to fit the crime at some point.
The dude out in Sterling in Baton Rouge, he was just selling CDs. Cop popped him. Like what? Like, and the fact that this is becoming.
They arrested the dude on CNN. That was crazy. And I'm like, how y'all don't know the dude with the camera talking about the shit going on? How you don't know he ain't with the news? You mean the only dude out here talking about the guy who was live reporting?
Live reporting. I'm sure they had something.
That's the only reason he alive. He was like, hey, y'all know I'm live reporting, right? They're like, yeah, but you still going to jail. Like, they didn't care.
But that don't matter because look what happened to Sandra Bland. Like shit happens repeatedly. And
yeah, that one was sad. And
I just showed y'all before we started recording. Like, I just saw like a former classmate of ours talking wild on Facebook. Like, the dude was like a couple years younger than us at Joe's. And I'm seeing this. I'm like, this is.
I don't remember, buddy, but
I remember
it was hella people. I went, oh, you could easily go either way. Factual.
But like, and just to see, like, because I also heard an outcry from people saying that get your white friends and get your so-called allies, get them in check. And honestly, I don't care what a white person think right now. I don't care. And I don't think no one should care. And I don't think you should put that pressure on them. Honestly, no, I don't. I think what needs to happen, we put pressure on the ones who is racist.
Right.
Put pressure on them first.
It's not even really about, because the people who aren't really racist are still a part of the problem because they are aware of what's going on too. That's always been my thing. It isn't like see, I was talking to my girl about this earlier too. Black people, even though we are fucked up at times, we can admit to being fucked up and we can look back on it and laugh. Like, you know, we know OJ did that shit. And white people were in an outrage because the system worked against them for once. You know what I mean? And that's all it was. Everybody knows he did that shit.
I wasn't sure he did. I just know he was involved.
There is no way.
He's definitely involved at least.
But there's no way he didn't do it himself.
But like, not to like, I don't want to get off topic because yeah, of course there are those who kind of just play quiet. But I want to just speak more on the fact that I honestly think it's time for us to just stop. It's time to stop being peaceful. It's time for us to stop, trying to beat around the bush with certain things. It's time to just say fuck you. Like, y'all ain't like we've been here. Like, y'all we didn't ask to come to America. I'm saying, like,
and that's the reason why.
Their ancestors got on ships and came here. Our ancestors were shipped and stolen and brought here.
That part I don't also believe either.
What you
I
mean?
don't think we were stolen.
We were 100% stolen.
I don't know we were stolen. Not all.
Not 100% stolen. Like, some slaves were stolen, others were sold by other Africans.
I believe they were
others were tricked into coming over. It was
being stolen.
Right. And I do believe that a lot of them were sold because
that's still stolen.
The way that they look at Black Americans,
a human can't be sold,
bro.
Like, a human can't be sold.
I mean, tomato. Like
y'all get what they were killing Chinese people, like they were killing black people. Somebody in China is gonna come see about that shit. That's all I'm saying. Africans ain't gonna come.
Oh no, way back when, back then, if they would have took some Chinese people over there and brought them over here and made them work, China would declare war the next day. We'll take it back there, but that's why I feel the way I feel about Africans. Like, I really go, if you gotta have beef with somebody, have beef with your ancestors who lived 400-500 years ago. But since we can't, all I can do is focus on the shit that be happening right now. Like, let me get along with the motherfuckers.
Did Africa have the guns and the ships?
They didn't have the guns and the ships in America. Boy, the Native Americans was taking their asses out with arrows and horses. Stop it, bro.
But they had the ships to capture us and bring us over here.
There's trees everywhere. I've been to many continents, and I've yet to go on a continent and not see a fucking tree. I ain't trying to head, Joe. They ain't even try. My thing is, if these niggas tried to form a human chain and they all died, like, hey, we can't come get y'all, I would have lived good with that. If they cut down some trees and they built some boats and the bitches sank, I could live with that. They didn't do it.
Let me steal this shit back because we talking about African slaves. Yo, you just gonna fuck the whole race of Africans, bro? I mean, all right. So going back to police and the injustice of the government, and we seen all that happen, and then on top of George Floyd being murdered, on top of the uproar from celebrities, like the fact that Steven Jackson knew this brother and was cool with his brother and called him twin, helped this man get his trucker license, gave this man suits, and seeing his testimony regarding that, and then on the flip side, seeing our president, the president of the United States of America, I hate to call him our president, but that's a decision. That's a decision that apparently was made.
Elected official.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. But at the same time, for that man to go, when the looting starts, the shooting starts, pretty much putting a hit out on all the rioters, all the protesters, and it's crazy. I think this is what it could incite a civil war. Like, this is 100%, and honestly, I'm for it. I think that we're in a state now.
Terrible idea.
I'm at a mindset now where
any further violence not finna make any of this shit go away.
Why you say that?
And then black people can still be bald.
What?
We don't need to do that. They don't need to do that.
No.
Why do you think that violence won't be the answer when peace has not been the answer?
Because how is dying gonna get you anything? Like, honestly,
I mean,
if
because they're killing us regardless.
You reap zero benefits.
They killing us regardless.
But not each and every one of us. There's plenty of us who wake up every day and gotta go down. It sucks to be alive today, but I put my big boy pants on and do what the fuck I gotta do, Joe.
Because honestly, I'm at a state of mind where, like, going back to the slavery discussion, what I was trying to get at with that was that Marcus Garvey was preaching this back in the 60s, back in the 50s, that we need to go back to Africa. And I don't think Africa is the answer, of course not.
No, that ain't home to me. I was born here. I have no ties back there. They come over, like I said, they come over here and think they better than us.
I'm not saying let's go to Africa. I'm not going to diss Africans either. Shout out to my African people. But at the same time, I think we need to understand that they don't love us. They don't love here. We not loved here. We not loved. Maybe we not loved in Africa, but we definitely is not loved here.
You ain't gotta love me, but you gonna respect me.
They ain't respecting us.
That's the thing.
But you gotta make them respect us because it's almost like this.
Breonna Taylor was
like having a bully,
crib,
man.
Bro. Both and Gene was chilling in his crib, bro.
Yeah, but that's the sympathy
Ahmaud
part, though.
Arbery was jogging down the street.
Right.
Bro.
And all we can do is honor their memory.
Exactly. And that's and I know that it's sad. And I really feel bad about dude that was jogging down the street.
Like, that's
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but to me that's the worst one. Because he wasn't doing anything.
No, both and Gene was in his crib. A lady opened the door and just shot him. He eating cereal. Like, when you put these things in, like, when I put these things in perspective, I'd be like, bro, there's nothing that's stopping me from being me. I was the high-head kid like Michael Brown. If a cop would just talk smack to me, I might talk back to the cop.
Right.
I don't put the cop that's chase me down and shoot me.
But here go the thing. You made it. Mike didn't.
Exactly.
You think Mike wants you to go, man, let me go get a gun and throw my life away?
Factually,
Mike needs you to live for each of them days he can't breathe no more.
I want to live.
Not throw your life away.
I'm not saying go out here.
Like,
I'm not saying go out here. When I say civil war, I'm not saying go out here right now. All of us drop what we're doing and go shoot the police. I'm saying it's time for us to build our army. I think it's time for us to reopen the Black Panther Party.
And
I
that's
think it's
why
I think it's time for our gangs to start coming together and leading the community, because the police ain't gonna do it for us.
That's what I was about to get at, and I don't want to compare us to Italians, but the Italians got their style from the government.
Yeah.
It's like, when I be watching a lot of the mob flicks and even reading some of that shit, it be tripping me out that like the police couldn't come into their environment and do that type of shit.
Exactly.
Even if they knew that this motherfucker was bootlegging, had prostitutes and all that, you couldn't just you could catch him by himself and beat him up like the police would do and shit. But like,
right, but you gotta think about 4 or 5 of them cops is probably somebody love brother or somebody husband and shit.
I don't really want to make that comparison.
And now going back to Hove, right? So Hove, not going back, but mentioning Hove, right? So Hove, what do you say? No, they don't want to see no black. No, I'm sorry, Biggie. They don't want to see no black man turn to John Gotti, right? That's all, right? So they don't want a black man turning to John Gotti. They kill all the black gangs. The mafia is still good eating. Like they kill gangs. Of course, gangs ain't always the positive thing, but they are community builders. I never been in a gang, but at the same time, I look at true gangsters and how they move. Like, yo, these dudes right here can move the community. They touch the people.
Right.
They in the community.
Football teams,
but that was then. Like, you gotta think about.
I'm saying that needs to come back. Them kind of the gangs used to be.
We in a whole.
What the Black Panther Party had. Like the Black Panther Party started the gangs for us.
But we in a whole new era. Like, you gotta think about like the generation and the era that's coming in now. Like these is motherfuckers who will tell them they friends and then they come right back outside on the same block. Like they ain't just telling they fucking friends, bro. You think they really they gonna hold it down? Like, nah, man. You gotta find like-minded motherfuckers like you.
That's why I think it's our generational responsibility. Us, like we 30.
As bad as it look now, the one thing that I do kind of look at when I think about like being black in like the 40s or the 50s, right?
Yeah.
Now they would come and literally drag you out of your bed and do whatever to you. It's less of that, and I keep going. I go with each generation, it get a little bit better. Like, think about how many white people you actually know and get along with, probably compared to your parents. Think about how many people of all different colors. Like, I think as the generations go along, the more people who preach things like, hey, be peaceful, be tolerant, respect other people's stuff. That's the only thing you really can do. All you can do is try to pass respect on. Like, everybody not going respect saying things the same way. You gotta live with that. That's human nature, bro.
That's true.
Because everybody out here, like we was talking about earlier, every white dude out here ain't racist.
We gotta get guns though.
Oh, my thing, get guns. I have guns.
No, I'm just saying, as far as a community. Because, if that would have happened on, let's just say, my block or your block, Juice, you know what I'm saying? And we would have seen somebody would have had, knee in one hit, knee in one neck. Even the police, if guns would have been drawn,
I ain't gonna lie,
they got up.
The police put it on y'all. I gotta try to that block out a little bit. And they to chase me.
Hold on, but that goes back to my point. That's what I'm asking for when I say Civil War. Like when a cop does that, we should be able to defend ourselves. Like,
and then it's not
I'm gonna factually know I'm gonna die, but if I can fucking say smoother,
that's what I mean by a Civil War.
I'm good.
Like, at a certain point, there's gonna be a breaking point. There's gonna be a point where.
Well, I don't know about a Civil War though. Unless that's what happened.
You gotta be careful. I tell you what, bro. You gotta be careful throwing that word war around.
How many more George Floyds do you need? How many more do we need?
Man, it might be 50 more before a change actually occurred, to be real with you, man.
And bro, think about this, right?
Honestly, it could be all three of us on any given day.
It's gonna be more than 50 more. You know why? Because we got this dude for 4 more years.
You don't know that.
We got him 4 more.
You don't know that. You throwing in a towel already, and I go, out of all the people I really know, I go, man, you about the most politically inclined.
I am.
But if you throwing in a towel, I'm like, damn, maybe we ain't got no hope. Cause I tell you what,
the reason why I say it,
until that bitch over, a motherfucker ain't one to me.
You know why I say it? Just because what you said earlier about the young boys today, right?
What?
Like when Obama won, it was our generation just turned 18 years old, and we all got out there and voted for Obama, right? We wanted the first person we voted for to be Obama. That's what we wanted, right? At least the majority of people I know, that's what their ideas was. When I look at these kids now, if you 18 years old and you about to go vote for the first time, and your option is Biden and Trump, like I'm not sure if they all gonna go out there and vote.
Well, I think about it like
And
this.
Biden, only way Biden gonna win is if he gets the minority and the young adults votes.
Number one, you don't look at the rise in the Asian population. And by Asian, I'm talking about people from not only China or Korea or in those regions, but even like India. That those look like that Middle Eastern region. I should more so say like we're getting a lot of people from over there coming over here. They tend to vote Democratic. Like a lot of states have shifted. Look at is it Kentucky? Kentucky was about as Republican as you could get for as long as I can remember. They had a Democratic governor now. When I tell you things are changing, but like it just everybody want everything to be better overnight. And I'm telling you, shit don't get better overnight. It be blood, sweat, tears, pain. You lose some motherfuckers. It's gonna hurt.
I had a little debate on Facebook about this because I said after the Trump said what he said, I put a post up saying only if y'all would have voted for Bernie like I did, because like. Yeah, at this point, Bernie might not be the answer now because Trump has set us back so far. Like in a 4-year span of time, I'm surprised we haven't been at war yet. I'm really surprised he's not pushed us to war yet, and I'm scared what the next 4 years will be if he gets in. Hopefully he doesn't. I'm praying to God he does not win again. But all signs point to something's gonna happen to make him back in office.
Wars cost money. Wars cost a ton of money too. So
this man literally just told the governor of Minnesota that he is willing to give military access to give him.
Yeah, they just got 2,500 more. They got 2,500 more troops.
They showed like 100 police officers in front of the cop's house before he was actually taken away to court or whatever, protecting this man's house. A murderer, bro. Like,
I mean, these cops gonna stick together.
And then,
yeah, I mean, they gonna protect their
right or wrong,
right or wrong.
And then mention those people who you talk about who say silent.
Right or wrong, I would protect y'all. That don't condone what you did.
Right.
It's just your job, Joe.
But if you are protecting and serving the people, like, I'm sorry, nah.
You know, I don't want to live in a world where a court of public opinion can just deem somebody guilty and we drag them out of their house and we kill them. Because you know, like, granted, and I'm not saying...
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
He just went right to jail. He shouldn't have gone to his home.
But you know, like, even with that...
Put him in the holdings.
You gotta let it... Just how we want the process to play out and be fair to us, like... But no, you don't take the process away from somebody.
John, if some random just dude off the street had had Smooter like that, right? Or say for instance some crazy reason Smooter ended up in a situation where he beating a dude up, he got a dude like that, and or I catch a body, somebody catch a body, we not going to the crib.
No, I would hope like after you get all your shit in order, after talking to me, you go, can you get me there safely? Because you're gonna have to turn yourself in.
I'm talking about for the police protecting dude who killed George Floyd.
Dude should have turned himself in and made it easy on his friends. But people be like, to me, I would have went, man, they mad as hell. I killed somebody. Let me go turn myself in because I think about dude got family, dude got kids, his neighbors. If I'm his neighbor, I'm like,
we wouldn't have had the option to turn ourselves in.
No, we wouldn't. But I mean, life ain't fair, bro. You gotta get over that, fam. You gotta get over that.
That's what we fighting for, though.
I've been on that for 30 years.
That's what civil rights is. That's what equality is. We want equality. We don't get that.
But the way you asking for it in that sense is unfair. In the sense you're asking for it, because it's like if you're not a part of our crew, you can't kick it with our crew. Like it's almost like that type of thing. Like you good in the hood, you understand that. Like they the police. This ain't just some random white guy. Like the two dudes that shot.
This ain't some random ass crew.
Like the two dudes that the two white dudes that killed the dude that was jogging. They didn't go straight to the crib and just do the same thing.
They chilled for months.
I thought that was.
That happened in March.
I didn't know that happened. Like
that happened in March.
They
just got arrested.
I thought that happened.
If that had been some of us, if we had ran down on a white dude, we is dead.
Right, but you know better than to run down on a white dude,
I'm black.
bro. Exactly. That's the thing. I'm not saying it's fair, but it's just that's your reality. That's your reality. You gotta deal with. You gotta deal with it.
This is why
you gotta deal with that shit.
My point was we got to fight to change that reality. We gotta fight to change that reality.
That's reality. Like it happens every day. Like you damn well know you better not catch no white body.
You want to be complacent with that reality though?
I'm not complacent with that reality. I'm trying to do everything I can. I try to pay my shit on time. I try to stay the fuck away from them, out of people's business. I don't bother nobody.
And John, there are people like you who are doing everything on the right.
Right.
They're doing everything right. And
I already know I still got a 70% chance of not making it.
Bro, exactly.
But the thing is, it ain't nothing that's gonna get better overnight.
It's the thing that they have no fear.
It won't be overnight, but I'm saying we gotta fight to change it.
It's in generations.
We gotta start it. We can't just wait for some. We can't wait for the next generation.
It's been started, bro.
But I'm saying
it just sometimes things get worse before they get better, and it's just a prime example of that. You don't think Dr. Kingdom had some setbacks?
Yes, factually.
You don't think they ain't lose some good brothers back then?
Think about this though.
It's the same fight.
Over 160 years ago, or about 160 years ago.
Y'all young niggas, y'all be thinking y'all fighting some new wars, bro. It's the same war. I don't even get. That's why I try not to get caught up in. I'll be like, man, I love everybody, but if you're racist, I'll walk around. I'll give you your space. Too easy, Joe.
But it's systematic though. It's all a system though. Because you have to think about it. Like, well, we got here almost 400 years ago, or over 400 years ago.
Right.
So those people are dead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so are those ideologies.
No, exactly.
Ain't nobody owning no slaves.
Yo, but
listen. The reason why I say it's systematic is because of what we see in the news.
Yeah.
The media also portrays racism. Like, for example,
what they glorialize.
I met a white guy that was at my job for not that long, a few years ago, and I thought about it recently. He was from North Dakota. And he had never met a black person before.
Yeah, that's skinhead territory, bro.
He straight told me that. Never seen us. Bro, his reality of black people is only what he's seen on TV.
Yeah.
And that's just it.
Yeah.
So he had no idea that like we were like cool.
Bro, racism, you're not born racist. You are taught.
No, exactly. And it's systematic. Sometimes they're just naturally afraid of us because they're not in our environment.
Naturally afraid of us?
It's almost like because of what's being perpetuated to them. You're not listening.
No, I'm hearing you. Listen to this real quick, bro. It's systematic because they made it that way.
Of course they did. But
it ain't our fault that they have decided to teach themselves that we bad. Like, I feel what you're saying, but like also think about it this way: if I had the power to tell a whole generation of people that I am the greatest person alive, then that's what they're doing basically. They pretty much taking their power and using it to say that we're the greatest.
Right.
That's some Hitler shit.
Absolutely, and nobody's saying it's not. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you got white people, you got black people. Black people need to stand up more in a sense of we don't
even got to stand up more.
No. What I mean is we have to stand up
and not letting them separate ourselves. Like we have been letting them separate us.
That's another point.
We gotta
I'm so closed-minded because I let y'all know something. Every day I just see people. And the problem is, you're so focused about what's so different about this person, what's so different about that person. All I want to know is, are you minding your business, stand out of my way. If you with the smokes, let's spark something up. If you ain't, go about your way.
But to be alive is to be aware. And some people don't see it that way. And to act like they do is to just be playing.
Because my thing is, it's like, just like it's white races out there, it's black races out there. And my thing is, God forbid I take any
black races is ridiculous though.
You know, as ridiculous as it is, and how you think white people feel when they see a white racist, they probably really go like, damn, that's some ridiculous shit.
Not even.
Bet you. I bet you. It's plenty of them who do.
Like
I
for
tell
example,
you what, if you white and you ain't did nothing to me, you ain't gotta
like,
apologize to me.
The new
If
real
you ain't wrong with
racism
me.
is like this shit, the electronic shit. They not gonna let black people in on that. Like, to have that Steve Jobs.
There's a lot of
Bill Gates
stuff like
money.
that. They ain't gonna
You know
let
what I
us
mean? That's racism.
Bro, y'all
That's
finna retire me
that's
with some of y'all conspiracies.
No, that's
Y'all
just
way
that's
too
system.
deep.
But no, but check this out.
That's systematic. That's what I'm saying.
But real
though.
quick, I'm gonna go back to John. I'm gonna go back to John's point real quick. You right, 100%.
I only see
And
people.
no, let me get back into what I meant about the system though. About how like the reason why I say it's systematic is because this white girl the other day that had a dog, for no reason at all, made sure she made the
Boy,
point
she
to
almost
say.
killed the shit out that dog, yo.
She made sure she made the point though to say that I'm gonna tell them that there's an African American man.
Her name is Amy Cooper. She's a racist.
Right, I don't even know her name. I just seen the video.
Right,
She's a racist. She lost her job and that dog. Deservedly so.
And I appreciate Amy. Amy identified herself as somebody I'ma stay away from. Because you know what? Feel that way if you want to, Amy. And take your ass to hell. Because you know, she a person. Who are we to tell somebody how to feel?
John, I agree with you, right? I agree with what you're saying. It's a great mindset to have. And honestly, I think majority of black people, we have that. We are loving people. We are welcoming people. Like, and it's almost to a detriment of ourselves to the point because what we do is we create things as black people. We create culture. We've created styles and trends, and we allow white people to indulge in our culture, in our trends, in everything, right? But they don't allow us in nowhere what we need to be in. Like for instance, with our own communities, right? Our communities, we have what? It's McDonald's, it's liquor stores, it's a church, it's a funeral home, and it's nothing McDonald's.
And I can show you 8 out of 10 times where a black politician sold his own people out and left that in.
Of course you can.
But that's also systematic though, because
who really playing no fuck that shit, Joe? That shit ain't systematic. Because I tell you, if you got some real backbone, fuck that shit. You ain't selling that shit on my block.
You ain't listen to what I'm saying.
What?
You listen to what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is, of course, and that the problem is it's all related to what Smooth was saying, kind of right.
Everything is because of slavery.
The way is because it's not even that. Because the way the way is systemic. The way everything is systemic and systematic.
Y'all letting them lock y'all in.
I'm not. I'm trying to show you what's different, right?
Looking good.
Because
I'll give you that one.
what's killing us is the system that they have built. The political system that is in structure right now, the infrastructure of politics, is why we are trapped. Because the political system, Republican, Democrat, we have to choose a side, and honestly, neither one of us are for us. Neither one of us, none of their policies, none of their goals are for blacks to succeed. We are a minority. And
no, that's your own goal, bro.
Bro, factually, right? It's our own goal, and we can live.
All I ask for this.
We can live as individuals and try to block everything out, and that's cool. I feel you. We can just get to ours and get to our people and not worry about the bigger problem. But at the end of the day, it's going to affect us eventually. Like it's going to affect our lives eventually in a serious way. And I don't want to be a point where one of our homies get killed, where my family members get killed by a cop, because I'm gonna lose my shit. I know who I am. I know me. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, all I'm saying is, what we have to do is not necessarily start our own government, but like I said, you know, social media, for example.
How long we been free?
Social media isn't the first time we've seen people. We've seen them
How long we been free?
I don't know, man. Like that's almost like a question.
Abraham Lincoln freed us 150 years ago, right? And after that, we got laws saying we three-fifths of a man. Then we got Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws were just canceled like 60 years ago when Martin Luther King and had the Job Act. You know what I'm saying? And that's 1968. My pops was 12.
Right.
That's less than 60 years ago. And to see how the society has developed, how everything has changed over time, and how now we have social media, we have the tech world, we have all these things, science is getting improved, and we still suffering from the same racism. Like you would think with time changing, with technology being developed and all these things, that in the mix of that, especially with social media and us now being able to reach other people, then in the midst of that, racism would dwindle. But it's kind of gotten It hasn't gotten worse, of course, because you know what I'm saying, it's not lynching out. It's not lynching out here on that kind of level. They is killing us, but
right, it's on that kind of level. It is on that kind of level.
But it's not on the level of 1950. I'm saying, but yes,
it ain't on that level, because on that level, like those, it was so frequent then. But I tell you
was
what, like,
segregation here too.
Yeah, but what make it worse now is like, man, they so much more blatant with it.
And like, and the fact that they have the gall, like even with Emmett Till, like them dudes kind of ran away from that situation. These guys got the gall to do it on camera. And going back to Amy racist ass Cooper, like they don't care. Like it's like she literally called the police, and honestly, that's a weapon. I don't care what you tell me, that's a threat. If you as a black man, if you gonna call the police on me for no reason, you are trying to get them to kill me. That's how I'm taking it. Like you are trying to get that man killed.
Oh, I actually felt like I felt like when she said, and I felt like you say she really
African American,
like he was African American. Yeah. Like, hey, like, police come. Like I kind of feel like sometimes they call in, like, hey,
to kill us. Like, yo, come get this dude out.
I actually feel like that was her.
Yeah, that was definitely her. It was either to kill us to go to jail, and for what? For telling you put a leash on your dog? And you almost killed your dog? Yeah, she had.
But I tell you what, let's look at the beauty of it, because don't nothing piss off white people more than seeing an animal get harmed.
Yeah.
When white people seen that.
So like it was the way
Hero Warriors was like, yo, load up, we finna ride on her tonight.
even the weirdos and shit, the boy likers and girl peoples.
I go with when we be black people, we ought to align with Peter and that's what we ought to do. Groups, we gotta align together.
That's
certain groups,
saying,
you know,
right.
If we align with the
it's
Peters,
all about organization.
To get, you know, and
like
that's why I like Lori Lightfoot. I'm like, hey, she black and she represent the gays, you know. Bridge two communities who don't always see eye to eye.
And like I know, and I don't want to go back into this too much, but like when I said civil war, I of course did not mean actual war. I just mean we need to become more militant minded. And when I say that, as far as organizing, and like the LGBTQ community, they do a great job of organizing and standing together. And
they a whole vote representation. You know that's what it really comes down to, like a black community.
And I think that what they need to start going to is
the Asians.
I think it's the snitch mentality has to like not necessarily the snitch mentality. I don't think it needs to necessarily die, but I think that it's like they tricking black people with that. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is like
what?
Snitch, like don't snitch, don't say nothing to the police. Like, for example, if we were policing our own neighborhood, we don't have jails or anything like that. If I saw somebody on my block stealing from somebody else on my block, I feel like I have every right to have citizens arrest until an official comes to properly arrest them. You feel what I'm saying? That I have no problem with. I'm not gonna shoot this nigga because he's going to somebody else's career, but that ain't right. We don't need that around here.
Right.
That's the type of communities we need to have.
If you don't want to homies got together and beat your ass, I wouldn't be mad at y'all.
When the police is getting called over here, he already under arrest. We giving him to you. You're not just taking him and putting your knee all in, like none of that's happening. At the end of the day, you gotta make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you police yourself in your own neighborhoods. Because you know
and like to that point, like honestly, only I think of snitching is like if you are in the act with somebody and then you telling that person, that's snitching to me. But if somebody robbing someone, I see it, yeah, man, yo, hey, get over here, man, ain't wild. Like unless it's like my
not even that though. Not even that. And then my people, like I said, like, ain't none of that. Like, just because you live in a house with me don't mean you can go steal from them over there and we not gonna check you about that and you gonna give them their shit back because we live on this block. We live in this community. Like, if we not releasing ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Then that's the thing. You help your brother out if you need to because they helping their people. They're not helping all their people, but they helping people.
And like it just really sucks to be in the state where we are in now, where we can see like them George Floyd killings, and we can see this stuff in the Ahmaud Arbery. We can see these killings on video in our home, on our phones, because of social media. And I'm kind of curious to see how y'all feel about Well, John had a great. This is kind of a topic John has been leading up to with me for a while. Like the evolution of social media.
Like social media is just out of control, bro.
Like,
I just gotta say it like that.
Like honestly, it came from a part where it started off. We go all the way back to the party line, and it's like
that's the first social media. You just used to call in, or even like I think people used to video date too. But like you get your profile, say what you say about you, and if people like what they hear, like what they see, whatever, they hit you back.
Yeah, just call
and
them
then
out,
just like and then like we were saying, Black Planet was like before MySpace. There was Black Planet.
I'm gonna tell you how dumb. I'm gonna tell you how dumb I was back as a shorty. When I
first, gente for my Espanol people, solidarity with everybody.
When I first got on Black Planet, that's when I found out about zodiac signs. Cause I didn't know, like everyone had like they birthdays on there. It'd be like Scorpio or whatever. And I thought they all had. First one I saw was someone has had cancer. I'm like, damn, you got cancer? I'll never forget that. Like to see social media go from innocent flirting, like me not knowing what cancer is, to going to like MySpace and we just having fun on there. We got music on our profile page.
What's your MySpace? Put me on your top. Hey.
I used to try to holler at girls at Joe's and be like, yo, what's your MySpace? Put me in your top. I just go in there every time, put me in your top. Hey, every time.
Whole song.
What's your MySpace? Put me in your top. Hey, it was hilarious. And going from that to like tag, and I was wilding in tag. And like all through that time is AOL, Instant Messenger, Yahoo Instant Messenger, like all these avenues. We just having fun on social media back then.
But we didn't realize like what it became, or even more so what it desensitized us to. Because
and I largely accredit that to Facebook.
Facebook, I go, is probably the worst out of all of them.
Because like when
Facebook puts you in the neighborhood with all your people in the neighborhood, the school you went to. It's kind of like it put everybody on social media in one room almost.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, everybody went to Facebook because Facebook was the first one that really went, we got something for parents, we got something for grandparents, children, cousins, aunts, uncles,
kids.
MySpace
was just for kids pretty much. Like,
MySpace was for young people.
High school, college.
All of the people I used to find on MySpace
I wasn't friends. Nobody in 30s.
This lady was 32 on a date with a 16-year-old.
Wow.
Right.
I remember Tag was like that. Tag had
Tag
had 30-year-olds in Tag. And when Facebook and Twitter came around, though, it implemented a lot of putting in the news.
Because everybody and their mama was on
but you know why it was to me? And going back to what Smoothie said with the systematic part of with media and news, like was because the news hopped onto the Facebook and Twitter wave. Like I remember they started putting their Twitter names on on the news.
Wasn't no BET MySpace that I can remember, and I damn sure I don't remember BET could have gave Black Planet some love. That could have been the biggest company out here.
Facts. But like, so once like the big networks and like brands started hopping on to Facebook and Twitter, it launched into something completely different. And then of course, after a while,
that's when Zuckerberg got the fuck out. He like, I can't control this shit no more.
And that's when that's how new media arrived.
That nigga ran from his own baby.
And there's good and bad to that because
I think
that created new media, which is like podcasting. That created that avenue, but at the same time, it created the avenue of us seeing these depths. And like, yes, we should. I think seeing them has made it more real for us and has made us be more proactive.
Because I can't tell you how many people, I can't count on both hands how many people I've seen get killed on a social media site. Like from the guy who shot that old man to I know y'all remember what was the one we was just talking about when they set old girl up and sprayed
that shook me up. Old girl come to
the board in the car with his brow.
Yeah.
Come on, right? Like it's just like we witnessed so many murders on social media. That's the one that killed
me though, because I'm like Joe. And that's the one that had me sitting there like Joe. I be in the car with my broad and my kids all the time.
And like I'm really starting to get disturbed because we live in a society where we go, man. Instead of niggas going, hey, let's get this to the police. Maybe they could get a handle on it, get ahead of it. We instantly share with 1,000 people in such a like somebody's death. Like you gotta think about that mom watched her son die. His girl watched dude die. Even worse than that, I think about that cop. Like that cop don't realize how bad he made it on his kids. Like your kids literally about to watch their father kill a man. People are gonna hate them for no reason. Cause I always go, if you ask me, kids are the only innocent people in this world. Cause they ain't fucked up yet, and it's gonna be the shit that we teach them that's gonna be fucking them up. But
and honestly,
what do I know?
And honestly, what
actually lumped it at Joe's. What you just said.
What you mean?
Kids are the most innocent people in the world.
I mean, yeah, we like a kid knows nothing but what it's taught. Like it's a blank canvas. It's a blank canvas. It's a blank.
And it ain't so much what you taught. Like you got to think about it like this. It's really what you going out there and learning and experiencing. Because I tell you what, I could teach y'all. Hey, this phone is this, that, and the third. What you take away from the teacher and what you take away from the teacher might be different things. Like
everyone's a different kind of learner.
Yeah,
visual learner, audio learner.
It'd be so many factors, man. But I think it all just start with, man, if we all just try to be decent people and number one, and social media, we just gotta take some social media time out because
factually.
I don't even think that. I think what needs to be done is what's happening on social media. Like I said, if what was happening in the blood was on social media, there'd have been 5 or 6 niggas with a camera out the cut like, hey, get off blood. You get the fuck back too. This is how we doing this. Then you got less black people that are afraid that will stand up. Because all it takes is 1 or 2. But we haven't seen that yet. We just see defenseless black people getting killed.
But I hate putting.
That's why I love.
I hate putting a gun in a
like,
scary person's hand because I tell you what, ain't nothing worse in this world than a
but
person that's afraid with a gun.
And let me tell you,
it's a sad thing that a lot of these cops
on the other side. Exactly, the cops is the scary motherfuckers with guns too.
And that's the thing. They
I'd rather be too
scared. I get that, but man, G. I just meant if you a bitch, don't pick no gun up. If you a bitch, just stay with the hands. You can't go home
because hands and guns.
Honestly,
hands and guns don't mix.
They got that.
That's the thing, though.
If you listen, I would feel better even up the odds, even if I gave a gun to my 13-year-old son. Just off the strength of
that's the thing,
I would feel better with him. With knowing that he didn't have to go out like that, like give me a break.
But that's the thing, though.
That's what I'm tired of seeing.
That's the thing, though. Against John's point a little bit, like because if you a bitch with a gun, I guarantee you can't fight. Like so, like sometimes there's people out here who grabbing guns because they can't fight.
That's what we talking about. People, if you can't fight, don't pick no gun up. No guns ain't gonna help your problems.
What they supposed to do when the police got them and pull them over or some racist shit going on with them, and they got guns? Run?
No.
This is your 70. This is my 70% recommendation plan on how to get up out that jam. Just whatever I'm for real, Joe. If they pull you over. Am I getting a ticket or do you want to take me in? Just let 12 jurors work it out, because that's really where we at this point. I need 12 people to be like, hey, you get if 12 motherfuckers tell me I'm guilty, fuck it, Joe. I'll work that shit out later.
John, bro.
Yeah, right.
John, it goes back to Philando Castile. That goes back to Sandra Bland. They might not see that jury.
What did I just tell you earlier? A lot of us not finna see that jury.
Exactly.
But
it's a gamble.
Picking up a gun is only gonna agitate the situation. You scared, I'm scared. We both got a gun. Now we both dead. What problem?
Yeah,
what is that solve,
bro? You respect me more though. You won't just come over here thinking you can put your damn knee in my neck because you know I'm pulling pipes out too. Because the only reason why ain't nobody run up and stop them because they had guns.
That's it.
I tell you, bro.
It ain't because they the police. That's
honestly, and I say this.
And I guarantee if somebody would have pointed the gun his way, he'd have got up.
And I say this with a wide brush, of course, but like a lot of our generation, we don't respect the police as much as we probably should because they don't invoke respect. Right? They don't approach us with respect, so we don't respect them. So what Smooth is saying, of course, I'm not saying go put a gun up into a cop. But I know it's likely if we had guns, if black people had guns, one or two things is happening. One, either they're gonna legalize guns, or two, a lot of cops are gonna get shot.
There's gonna be two. A lot of cops and black people are gonna get shot.
And you know why a lot of people gonna get shot? Because they're gonna be on bullshit and the black person gonna have their gun and be able to fire back. Like, hold on, why you reaching for your gun? What are you doing?
And like I'm a big Killer Mike fan, but I'm also
and that's gonna even the odds, and they're gonna think differently about it. Trust me when I tell you.
I'm not a big gun advocate. I'm not a gun advocate at all, really. But I do see why that is something we need to approach, because the Second Amendment is there for a reason. I think it's one of those things that's there, and they don't want us to touch it. Like, it's there, and it's like kind of theirs. Like,
right, because if they take it away, then they're gonna get more trouble. They gotta use their guns, and if they lose their guns, they can't see us. Cause now, y'all gonna have dogs and all type of shit now.
Right, and I bet. And out of all the niggas y'all know who ain't even got no felonies and can legally go out and get a gun, how many of you know that went out and legally got a gun?
Juice, what I called you and say the other day though, before this shit happened.
Okay, so you know one or two intentions, but honestly, like, if we're gonna go it up, like, my thing is, look, arming yourself ain't necessarily the solution. And I get what y'all saying. They arm, they tearing niggas down, and I got it. Everybody ain't trying to turn no passive fucking cheek. But I tell you one thing, like, eventually y'all gonna have to probably get it in your mind. Like, I wholeheartedly know one day a motherfucker might have to put a gun dead in my face to get me up off their face. Cause I tell you what, the guy who took the video, I'm not taking nothing away from him. At a certain point, I'm gonna have to go to jail too. It's gonna have to be 2 knees on the necks. Like, damn, all y'all people around, it's 4 of them. Things could have went down 1,000 different ways. But hindsight,
the difference is
what I'm saying is, right now, going and telling a whole bunch of people, go get a gun, let's arm up, ain't gonna be the answer. Only thing we're gonna be looking at is an increase in shootings. But pussy motherfuckers with a gun ain't gonna do nothing but let that bitch go, and that's just gonna justify when they shoot you. And I tell you what, if you pull a gun on the cop and you get shot, it ain't a whole lot I can argue on your behalf. And y'all know I'll argue anything to death.
And to John's point,
and if you don't have a gun, it ain't much you can argue on your behalf. So I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's only one way to do it. Sometimes you gotta even the odds.
I want to get
a dog with a
50-50, but I ain't finna get no bullet.
I want to get back on topic a little bit, but before we do get back on topic, I kind of want to get y'all. We haven't talked about this enough, and I know it's been a long segment on this. It's been 51 minutes, but what do you guys take on the way they're protesting? On the quote-unquote rioting and looting that's going on. What do you guys take on that? Because honestly, for me, I'm in support of it. Because if it brings awareness to our frustration, I'm in support of the rioting and looting. But I know it's not right. I know it's not the right approach. And I know it's the wrong approach, but at the same time, I know the right approach has not worked.
Does they taxes is probably increase?
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
have sales tax out there.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. preached positivity, being passive, being peaceful, being respectful. He preached all that, and they still killed that man. So, like, at a certain point, I think it's just, all right, this happened. We're gonna show y'all what happens from now on when this shit happens. We're gonna burn the city down. Every time this happens, we burn the city down.
I'm the guy that never really thought that Magneto was a supervillain. I just want to put that out there. You know.
Right. But I mean, I think in the circumstances of them being a hero, he has to be the villain. But I agree with you. He's not a villain. He's more of a nemesis. So I agree with you. And let's go back to just social media a little bit and just kind of get off the heavy topic. Let's be more lighthearted. Let's talk about the savagery that went on and tagged in your MySpace inboxes. Let's talk about this, man, because I know I always be wilding. Around the time it was when Tag was popping off and there was AIM and like there was it was Club Nitro, the teenage club.
There was one more. I feel like it was another social media out there.
MySpace Tag.
No, some blue shit. Damn, Tumblr. Wasn't Tumblr?
Oh, Tumblr.
Social media, right? I never had a Tumblr.
I never had a Tumblr, but Tumblr was like damn near porn.
Right, but I heard like Tumblr was another house, but like that was, I think that's how we had got sidetracked again. But that's my thing with social, like it's all of these different like.
Yeah, it's like
you were saying, MySpace just started. It was somewhere you put some music, you put a little background on your page. You know, you the shit, whatever. Same thing with like a Black Planet. And then like, I don't know, with all of these other ones, it's like, man, it just became porn. I tell you what, it changed dating forever.
That's right.
Shout out to social media.
One of the weirdest things you could do now is walk up on a pro and be like, hey, I'm woo, what's your name? You know what I mean? It's almost weird to do that. You gotta be like,
man,
you gotta know somebody they know and be mingling. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know,
COVID-19 finally killed all of my in-person game because I used to like to meet chicks at the gas station. Like, hey, baby,
but not no more.
It's too cold for you to be pumping that gas out here. Let me pump that gas.
That's how you coming at it, bro?
Oh, that's how I definitely was coming at him, Joe. It'd be wintertime in Chicago. Bitch be. He pumped gas.
You go ahead and brush their car.
Man, like, let me top these fluids off.
I feel you.
What do you mean? Put your number on my phone.
But I want to talk about one thing that social media definitely has a negative spectrum for, and that's like with mental health, man. With mental health, social media is like so it can be detrimental to us. Going to what John said earlier, like sometimes you need that social media break, like because the social media can lead. Social media can lead to a lot of self-doubt, a lot of comparing yourself to others' lifestyles. And,
niggas especially ran me off Facebook, bro.
Like you forget that social media for the large part is a highlight reel. Like in a large spectrum of things.
Application for some pussy.
You know what I'm saying? Like social media, you use that to attract others or to get likes. That's what you use it for the most part.
And I kind of always felt like, man, I thought social media was like, man, I wonder what my niggas thinking about or working on right now. Shit, let me pull my man's page up. Oh shit, G over there, he talking about he finna eat some snacks and watch the game. G on the he say he listening to music. I say I'm finna log on a Call of Duty. Maybe he noticed I'm on, and that's what I thought it was for. Or maybe you see something funny, you want to share it, but like it's like, damn, every day I would log on to social media, it'll be a motherfucker patting themselves on the back like, hey, I got 3 kids, but I woke up and did it all on my own. Congratulations. Who gives a fuck?
Yes.
Or motherfucker be, man, I just brought this, hey, congrats, but man, you told us about your new Bentley about a month ago. Like, old news, did you put some seats in that bitch? Or like, I don't know, motherfuckers real talk you to death on that.
So there is that. There are moments where it leads to self-doubt, but there are also moments where you see people who are trying to uplift themselves, and I love seeing that. Like I saw
inspirational people. Always go what they call them, social media influencers.
Like Gary V. I fuck with Gary V. Heavy. Gary V. is super dope. Damon John from Fubu.
I like Gary. I like the energy Gary V brings.
Yeah, Gary V brings out some good energy. But like even like in the community, I saw one of my Facebook friends who just finna get their bachelors and working on their masters. I'm like, damn, that's dope, shorty. And like saying like, people, like we know someone who just started another podcast and who's an author. Like shout out to Andrea, and there's other podcasts out there that we know of. I know more authors, and we just talked about the homie Sam earlier. Like just seeing what Sam is doing. So I love seeing that kind of stuff on social media. But of course there is a lot of negativity in there, but that just comes with both things, I feel like, man.
My nephew gotta just drop the album called Love and Drugs.
Shout out to your nephew, shout his name out. Shout out
that's my nigga.
Mario XO.
Hey, that's my asshole, but that's my nigga.
Shout out to Flea. And going kind of staying in technology, well definitely in technology. Me and John were also talking earlier just about streaming services, because over the weekend, I think it was last weekend, right? It was during the week.
Days ago.
HBO Max launched.
It launched. It's all that.
And HBO Max. I have HBO through Hulu. So once I heard about HBO Max, if you already pay for HBO in any sort of way, you go to HBO Max, and there's a bunch of different things on there beside HBO content. So all the HBO content.
All the episodes of Fresh Prince,
including you got all the Fresh Prince and Boondocks on HBO now. So Boondocks is there. You got
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. You got a bunch of DC stuff. We got Teen Titans. All the Justice League movies and
if you're an HBO fan, check it out. But
Big Bang Theory's on there.
Oh, that's a hot one.
That's a good one, yeah.
But just streaming services in general, I go the wave of the future. Like I don't know about y'all, I know you got a girl, but I'm out here single, and I go, I'm looking for a premium, a premium streaming service relationship. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm bringing Hulu and HBO to the table, can you holler at me with Netflix and Stars? That's all I'm saying. And let somebody be like, ooh, I got Cinemax, I'm in love, Joe. You feel like, what y'all stream from, or what's hot that y'all even be watching?
You go first, man.
Shit, I got pretty much everything, Cinemax, HBO.
Oh, you went full bird.
Yeah, Netflix.
You
Showtime.
got cable too, or you just stream?
No, I just stream Showtime.
Your cable's dying, man.
Juice, I got Hulu through Juice.
For sure.
Amazon, Voodoo.
Man. So
Sling TV. I just got a lot of just different little streaming apps.
Me and my brother pretty much break it down the middle. Like, just, he pay for Amazon Prime. He got Netflix. I got Hulu, and I got the Hulu package. It was Hulu, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and I got Apple Music and Spotify for my music. I used to have Tidal too. I just couldn't do it no more, man.
Yeah, I got Apple Music. That's all I got. A lot of my music comes from Spinrilla, live mixtapes.
Yeah, live mixtapes still hit.
Audio Mac.
SoundCloud. Audio Mac is dope.
SoundCloud kind of died. Like Audio Mac got all the old mixtapes. You can listen to
all the old mixtapes and a lot of albums.
Yeah, and some albums on that. Facts. Audio Mac is super dope. And like so, just seeing what streaming's become, and like kind of connecting streaming with social media, like shit like OnlyFans, like shit like the fact that people was actually paying like $15 a month to see just their favorite IG model or just some chick's feet. Like it just.
I'm not mad at that, man. I'm not mad at
I ain't mad at the hustle. I ain't mad at the hustle at all.
I ain't mad at the hustle, but then I also go, it's so disrespectful too, because I got a couple of friends who are actual, like, for real, they in the porn industry, like, that's their thing, and that's what they decided on. And I'm like, people really don't understand how much actually go into porn, and then I go, like, I don't know, just some of these fan-only sites, it's like, so you mean to tell me y'all just paid that girl $25 just to see her titties? She ain't finna let you touch them, throw them in your face. She ain't finna slide through your bathroom window and be come on, bro. Like y'all gotta draw a line somewhere.
And I hope this comment don't disrespect your friends in the industry, but like, porn is hella free. I'm not gonna pay $15 to watch. Nah, man, I'm a grown ass man, dog. Like, I don't see it. I just don't see what mom paying $15 for this one girl. To just show off like cleavage or whatever she's doing. I'm not sure they even doing that. But at the same time, what they're saying about OnlyFans is it's not just for that. It just happens that part boomed off, and like now we're like,
yeah, they definitely have hookups and shit on that too. Though.
It's also it's say for instance our podcast. We could upload like our podcast on there and get paid from that. But like it's just weird because OnlyFans just has this stigma now instantly.
I kind of feel like if that was the case, somebody would have to pour their thing out, and if one of y'all pull y'all thing out,
yeah, that's the whole.
Yo, you don't
see the last podcast.
You know, Safari got an OnlyFans. I ain't no dudes out here doing that. That's
why I'm like, you gotta draw the line.
Casanova got an OnlyFans, man. Y'all.
And then, and the scary thing is, it's like, you remember I done said this a couple times. You really gotta know what your homies be out there doing. It terrifies me to wonder what these people is on OnlyFans doing.
And I'm switching topics real quick. I just thought about this, man. So there's a Good in the Hood podcast group page, right? I don't know how my mind just shifted to this right now. I'm so sorry to do this to y'all.
No, but don't be sorry though.
It's a wild shift. But it's a Good in the Hood podcast group page, and we have a bunch of debates we spark on there, so please join the group page. Just type it in on Facebook, you'll see it immediately. And one of them, because John ain't on Facebook.
Sorry, I can't be in there.
Yeah, John don't fuck with Facebook. So I'm bringing this to the table because John is not on Facebook. So the homie Deshaun went to Joe's with us, with Shay Lately with me and Smoother cousin. So I knew Deshaun since like 96. What was it, first grade?
96.
Man, niggas don't want to know your history. Get
Man,
the story,
that's what the podcast is, man. It's our history,
Get
baby.
the story. I'm trying to see where you leading.
So it's two actors. Two actors. One got to go, and 8 works of their catalog, right? And it's actually it's a weird combination. So I want to see where you take it, because I remember you said both of these dudes thinking your top 10 comedians.
It's between Will Smith and Denzel.
No, it's Jamie Foxx and Martin.
Okay. So which one I could do away with?
Yeah.
Probably Jamie, easily.
Oh, okay.
Talk
to me.
Given Sunday is my favorite movie. Jamie is the, in the Given Sunday's my favorite movie, but Martin is the superior stand-up comedian. I believe the show hit harder, but
Martin got an easy 8 movies in too.
Like the thing is, like you do away if you get rid of Bad Boys 2 for me, like that's just a whole movie. I can absolutely do without. I can't do without Life. Like I gotta see Life. Again, like Bad Boys 1, I can low key. I ain't see Bad Boys 1 until after 2.
I don't like Bad Boys 1 that much.
To keep it a buck with
I like
you.
both of them. Bad Boys 1.
I mean, I like Bad Boys 1, but I don't like it. Like for me, like I compare them to Rush Hour a lot. And Rush Hour 1 was so great. And Rush Hour 2 was great too. It was just more funny. And I think Bad Boys is the same way. It was kind of more serious the first one and more funny the second one. But the first one just like it has it's stupid how it's trying to be funny.
And most
I'm Mike Lowry. Yeah, that's all my pictures of my friend Martin.
I wanna be like Mike. Hey, the first one was dope, Joe. Y'all capping on that first bad.
I ain't capping. I'm just saying I ain't watching.
It ain't as good as the second one.
It ain't
but
as
the
good
first
as the second one. I ain't watching
damn
late.
good.
With the Haitians, the second one's
The second one is damn.
I'm not even gonna watch the third one. Jay told me how whack it is. I ain't gonna try to
I didn't even finish. I'm gonna watch it when it come on. It's on Voodoo, you know. I'm gonna rent it.
You don't watch it. It's just I'm saying. Like you know how you watch some shit. Let me see. What's a good example? What was the movie with Will Smith's son?
Just by itself.
It was both of them in the After Earth, right? I could have did without that Will Smith performance because
the whole movie.
Right, because Jaden is just terrible. He's the worst.
Karate Kid was cool.
Okay, we'll pretend. But
you know from Karate Kid?
No.
Nah.
No.
He was a little bit. He should have had the Detroit hands. He should have put his back on the wall like, oh, y'all want to jump a nigga? Big.
You know what was a good dope movie though? Come for Us. I just want to put that out there.
It ain't better than Jack Black. Don't do it.
No, I don't think Jack Black was in there.
I'm thinking about Shanghai Nights, I think. Some shit. But yeah, so.
But yeah, you know, certain movies ruin an actor, and Bad Boys 3. Like, I can just tell you, by the way that movie was going towards the end, it would have ruined Martin for me.
But Jamie Foxx, though, he does deserve consideration, though. Because he does.
He's a wonderful, but
he is dope.
He's
just a stand-up.
He's definitely dope, but he's
he ain't on Martin level.
He ain't on Martin.
He's dope.
No, with the movies, though, yeah, he's.
I will honestly.
He's in my favorite movie. That would mean I would have to go with my favorite movie.
What's your favorite movie?
Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, Willie Beam, of course.
Nigga, my name is Willie.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I can't believe I doubted you like that, man. I'm sorry, I doubted you like that. Yeah, Jamie elite, but for me, like even on his like best performance, quote unquote, with Ray, after you see it the first time, you ain't gotta see that shit again.
I don't guess when you say it like that.
I mean,
then with a minute.
I mean, yeah, but like I feel the same way. I felt the same way about Ali too, though.
Ali, I feel the same way that way.
In Notorious.
I don't think I've seen Ali all the way through.
Like, I don't really like to see actors portray.
I don't think I've seen Ali. I don't think I've seen Ali all the way through ever in my life. That movie was boring, boy.
It's
Hurricane Carter with Denzel was fire though.
Definitely was fire. Hurricane Carter story was just dope, period, though. Ooh, we probably need to have the best 5 boxing movies next time we link.
Best 5 boxing? I can't name 5.
Wow.
Boxing
Rocky.
You can't name 5?
Rocky.
Rocky, Raging Bull.
Southpaw. Creed.
What's the one with Mark Wahlberg?
$1 Million Baby. Undisputed. That's plenty great. Yeah. That's plenty great fucking boxing movies.
Undisputed was
that's why.
How about
boxing movies can't even. That's gotta have its own category.
How about we go with top 10 sport movies?
Well, we could, but then
but
boxing.
I could do 10 boxing alone.
Cinderella Man.
You do 10 boxing?
So you ain't never seen Cinderella Man either?
I've seen Cinderella Man.
No.
I mean, a lot of these movies I don't go back to a lot. I go back to
Slumdog Millionaire. That's what it was called. Slumdog Millionaire.
No, Slumdog Baby.
No, it's about $1 Million Baby.
No, what am I
$1 Million Baby?
That's the one.
Yeah. When Shorty bit her tongue off. Spoiler alert. She's I ain't fighting, nigga.
Shit, but yeah,
no. They put the stool out and she landed. Ooh, that shit was ugly. Kid, man, tough movie.
Dang,
top 5 boxing movies?
If we do 10, can we do fight movies?
They also good.
We do fight movies. I mean, I'm in for fighting. We just
Oh yeah,
fight
because
movies.
they gotta put shit like Bulletproof Monk and
Fight
that
Club,
kind of shit too.
nigga.
Bro,
Drunken Master.
Yep, man.
Man. Rumble in the Bronx. Oh, Jackie Chan.
That's kind of decent.
I low key like Never Back Down, but I don't think it's gonna crack my 10 because it was so gay.
Nigga, Into the Dragon. Last Dragon.
Right, pretty much Bruce Lee and being like 5 of them.
Bruce Lee
Hey,
got some joints.
Wait, what was the
what's
shit?
wrong
What was
with
the shit
Dragon?
with Bruce Lee? That was the last
Last
Dragon.
Dragon, yeah.
And I want to ask
That's
this quick
gonna be my
question
top
about
10.
superheroes.
Last
right
Dragon,
quick.
cold blooded, man. So no.
I want to ask this quick question
I got the
right quick
glove.
about a superhero. Because I ran across one of my homies, man, at work, and he brought this to my attention. Is Neo a hero, a superhero?
No.
Okay.
He had powers. We had powers, I guess. Yeah, but nah.
No.
He's not a superhero.
No. That would be
He's
like
superhuman or something, then what is he?
that would be, he in the same class as the nigga from Limitless. Like
Or like Inception dude.
What do you call that then?
like that's a gift. It's kind of like to me.
But they don't fight crime and kick ass though like Neo does.
Yeah.
But
Like Neo would be a superhero if Neo went Doctor Strange on us. Like Doctor Strange is my nigga, man. I fuck with that. I watch the movie so much.
I never seen it.
Watch Doctor Strange tonight, bro. I ain't lying to you. It's literally one of the best Marvel movies, and niggas do not talk about it enough, and I hate it. Cause Mars always want to talk about like the Hulk movies. I'm so mad how they ruined the Hulk movies, man. I watched that Hulk movie with Ed Norton again. Like, man, I wish he would have been the Hulk. That movie was ill.
Yeah, it was. I seen that in the show.
The Incredible
don't
Hulk.
even get me started, man. Just go look.
That's why if you're talking about fight movies, my man Ed Norton mentioned because of Fight Club, American History X. I guess that's not really a fight
That
movie.
ain't no fight
But
movie.
he made Buddy bite the curb.
That's
I was like, I didn't know what that meant until I saw that. When I saw like, hold on, he just stepped on this nigga head.
Curve stomp when that shit
Oh, man, your whole jaw gone, bro. The whole jaw. I'm sorry. Someone told me bite the curb. I said, nope, shoot me.
That was ugly.
You gotta shoot me,
I
Jack.
got it in black and white. I had to think about how white that man's teeth was.
You know what I'm saying?
That curve. That was ugly. That was real ugly.
I do want to like talk about some other like kind of like movies like that, but I'm not really fighting movies like Sin City. Of course, my favorite director ever, Quentin Tarantino, has a lot of movies that are very gory, like Kill Bill.
Yeah, The Spirit was cool too. I like The Spirit.
Spirit was hot,
That's
actually.
cool. You know what I'm saying.
I think that's
Sin
kind of
City 2,
more underrated.
Sin City 2 was
Sin
kind
City
of more
2 was
like
rough.
it was kind of more like The Spirit to me.
The Death Proof and what's the first one called?
Planet Terror.
What? No, the one Quentin did with the dude, the Grudge movie. What's it called?
Yeah, it was Planet Terror.
Planet Terror. I didn't know what you said. My fault. Planet Terror. You right? Yeah.
And it was, the one with the broad that had the foot.
Yeah,
That was,
the gun.
They showed it was like a double feature. As a matter of fact, then they showed another movie
Then they
with
had
that
they brought
bitch.
the
Death Proof.
Yeah,
The second one. That's the
yeah,
Quentin movie.
and then they had
Death
they had
Proof,
the,
so,
they had
Ooh,
the
Death Proof,
previews
yeah.
of the movies that was never supposed
But
to come
I'm
out.
gonna tell you something
People
funny,
wanted
right?
to see Machete so bad that they actually made the movie.
I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah, facts. That was ill.
That was
That's
ill.
right. But I'm gonna tell you something so funny about that, right? So I went to see that movie in theaters with my pops and my brother, right? We shorties. Had been like what, 2000?
Will gave me that movie.
2000.
I broke that shit too.
Had been 2007, I think, or something like that. I was like, I had to be like, no, it couldn't be that late. It had been 2005. I had like 15 maybe, right? And the first one was dope, and then it was all the trailers. It was hilarious. And the second one started off so slow. My pops got tired. Said, "Let's go, we leaving." I never saw the second one until I was like maybe 18. I was like, this movie is incredible.
Yeah.
This movie better than Planet Terror.
Face was melting. Yeah, Sin City was dope.
Sin City was dope.
Yeah, Kill Bill.
Quentin got some joints. Like, you talk about Quentin Tarantino alone.
Yeah,
like,
Foxy Brown.
He didn't do Sin City, but yeah, like, he got some joints.
No, Quentin Tarantino.
That's
and
Jackie
Sin
Brown.
City. Frank Miller, Sin City. Then.
No, that's what's his name? Rodriguez. What's his first name?
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's directed this Sin City and Planet
That's
Terror.
what this is, City for real?
Yeah, and Planet Terror.
With Quentin Tarantino.
No, Quentin Tarantino the new Planet Terror. He did the second movie.
Right. Okay.
They just put the movies in half.
Right.
Yeah, Quentin got Django, which is another Jamie one. That's the one Jamie movie for me that makes him like essential because of Django. Cause Django is like my favorite movie, and I hate slave movies. I don't watch any slave movies besides Django.
That's the only slave movie I've probably seen more than once.
I don't think I've seen any slave movies ever. I don't watch them.
I know I ain't seen. I feel like I seen another slave movie. Cool. I know I ain't see Roots. I know I ain't see The Color Purple.
You ain't see Color Purple?
Fuck no. I know I didn't see. I told you about this.
Where was you as a kid when the TV was on?
Like when stuff like that. Right, playing a game, playing with toys, going outside.
I'll leave that slow ass.
I went to my granny house.
I'll leave that to my mama and them. Like, yeah, y'all watch this slow ass shit.
As a shorty, I went to my granny house. All she had was a PS1 for me and one little ass game.
Why would have been the best nigga at that one little
I
ass
was. Like I said, the same time.
Man, so we go get that one little ass game right now. I can't bust your ass on it.
And PS1, no, and it's what game was that? It was some Mario Kart game. I think it was Super Mario Brothers.
No, that's not on PlayStation 1.
It wasn't?
No.
Of course not.
That was on the 64.
Yeah, it was
I can bust you on that.
What the fuck was it? It had to be a football game or a basketball game.
When you find out, you let me know. Cause you better be.
Cause I'm trash at video games. If you know me, you know I was telling my.
You better be the best at that.
I wasn't always trash.
I'm telling you something funny, right? So last week my brother got a PS4, right? I'm playing Grand Theft Auto. I ain't played the game, mind you, in 10 years. I'm just playing to see how it works, right? And I called him out like, man, you know I'm still trash at video games, cause I don't understand how y'all drive. And I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, cause how do you steer when it's going this fast?
R2.
I know it's going so fast,
and
right?
You just use the joystick.
Right, so metal, like, you can't be holding R2 down that hard, like you putting the pedal to the metal. I said, well, you can use the button like an actual gas pedal. Like, you ain't gotta put it all the way down.
On that bitch.
I was thinking, my whole life, I put that mark always to the bottom every time. I put it like
always. We didn't know no better.
Always crashing the car.
Right. Eventually, you learn like how.
I never learned. I stopped playing after a while. I'm tired of crashing.
How to actually drive.
Damn.
I'm tired. Man, I was always horrible at 2K. I was solid at Madden. I was solid.
Yeah, you were decent at Madden when we were short.
Solid at Madden.
Decent at football, especially Blitz.
That's only because I knew the plays. Like,
what about this other game?
If it's play action, that's all I do on Madden. Play action, hit that slant route.
Shit, now can't do that shit no more. Now you better be able to read that defense, call all the one, hit them hot routes.
This is like Donovan McNabb.
I'm like, damn, Madden made me learn shit I ain't learned when I played football for real. Like,
so, but mentioning these, we mentioned the sport games. There's rumors that the NBA is looking to come back with 20 to 22 teams on July 31st, which is a little bit over about 2 months from now, from tomorrow. It's 2 months from tomorrow. This pod drops tomorrow, May 31st. So, what do you think with this coronavirus, like getting away from the main thing we're dealing with is right now is racism, going back to coronavirus, which is still alive and well. How do you think that's going to be going into the fall with NBA playoffs? And then the NBA season's still going to start in October.
I don't know, man. They're finna fuck that shit up. We should just throw this year in.
I think there'll be a lot of injury next season.
I think Brian, man, that boo boo, sticky head and doo doo. You didn't get this one.
Brian getting his.
But he gonna get one.
He gonna get his. He ain't gonna let that slide on. This is my year.
I'm just
trying to
get the Bulls back to a 500 record again.
John, you realize I've gone to the admittance stage and just the acceptance stage. And the Bulls just trash. You know, it's a trash organization.
Well, until I move to another city, I'm stuck with that.
If you remove one player from that organization is trash.
Well, we got a new GM.
You know how terrible that is?
No, because we could get rid of Chris Dunn.
No. What I'm saying is, in the history of the Bulls,
maybe.
If you remove Michael Jordan from the history of the Bulls,
oh yes,
that is the worst in the history of the world.
It's not true.
What? We never win if we don't get Mike. If we get Sam Bowie,
Clippers ain't never win.
If we get Sam Bowie,
joke before and sister, they got Chris Paul.
They never had Jordan. That's why.
At least we drafted Derrick Rose. At least we had another MVP.
Yeah, shout out D Rose, man.
Only reason we got D Rose was because this was a big market. You know they said that shit was red. I kind of feel like that bitch was.
I do too.
it wasn't no sense in hell we got D Rose, but they like, fuck it. He want to be there. Y'all want him there. We gonna put him there. And I'm like, I'm all with that shit, though.
Yeah,
sometimes niggas need that shit.
Rigged or not, we got him.
Right.
Definitely got him. New York got Patrick Ewing. You know what I'm saying? San Antonio got
right. Like, that's things happen, man. Shit happens. I'm good with that, though.
On the real. But, like, also kind of going back to streaming services before we get out of here, man. I want to talk to you about this news, right? You know, realizing 6 years from now, Jeff Bezos could be worth $1 trillion.
Yeah, all this shit out of control.
$1 trillion.
I'm addicted to Amazon.
You know what?
Me too.
And I think
right now.
they're in a position to probably.
I don't know what though.
Pretty soon overtake FedEx and
Oh, absolutely.
UPS.
USPS.
I don't think they're gonna take the post office.
Ain't nobody ever gonna take the post office over because I
It's
tell
federal.
you what.
That's federal. Yeah.
Not even just that, but Amazon and the post office already work together. Like that's how.
But
That's
like,
how the mail.
there's
That's how
rumors.
the post office delivers mail on Sundays.
There's rumors that Amazon might be buying AMC. They already bought Whole
Amazon
Foods.
should buy the post office. Though.
They already.
I might get my
They
damn mail on
gonna
time.
fuck around buy the government. Look at you saying. They gonna fuck around. This dude finna. This dude finna buy us the
If you're a
country.
black dude out there and you listen to this, become the richest person ever, buy the whole government, bro, and then make them motherfuckers act right. That's how you fix it.
Honestly, I think.
Shay out.
I think.
Suge Knight.
I think I wish what happened.
Free Suge?
I wish
Suge.
I wish Puff would take Revolt. I wish Hov would take Title and merge, man. Like I think that could be an entire like it'll change the world. I really do.
But the reason why they don't is because of slavery.
I don't think it's that. That's not the reason they don't
Oh
do
my
it.
goodness.
I think-
Everything
I think
is
that's a
because
con- I think that's a
of
contractual-
slavery.
Everything's because of slavery.
And that's why you gotta have
Everything.
yin and yang. Yin and yang. You know, there's
Y'all-
personal responsibility in all things as well.
If it's
So-
a
so
black
I'm
person,
I'm in the gray area.
if there's a black person and it's happening, it is because
Bro, y'all niggas make me
slavery.
nervous. I feel like, you know, y'all getting all militarized and y'all finna get me shot about her. But
I'm not even on that. I think, cause I don't think if I would never go
No,
outside.
I'm just talking about
factual.
y'all characters and demeanors.
No,
Look at
factual.
this guy looking at me all weird and crazy.
No, I'm just saying like
And you always calling me with your shenanigans.
you sound like Karen. Karen.
Man, I'm calling no fucking bitch name, though.
My bad. That's definitely disrespectful. I'm just-
Disrespectful.
My bad.
Get your name.
My bad. Get your
Hey, man,
name.
I got you.
All right, but man, with all that being said, man, it's a great episode. We talked in depth about a lot of important issues, man, and just
Hey, tell somebody out there you love them.
on the real, man. I love these two right here, man. Love my family and friends. I want us all to remain safe.
And I want to shout out my main man Tim. It's his birthday today. Tim, what up?
Shout
What
out,
up, Tim?
Shout out to my
Sleep,
bro-
what up?
Shout out to Sleep, man. Another 25-year friendship I got right there, man. Love to my bro Tim. 30 years on this earth, man. Blessed to say that, man. Shout out to bro. Once again, as always,
Y'all met Tim about a year ago. We was eating chicken on the front porch.
you know what I'm saying?
I throw that in there.
Real hood rat shit.
You know how niggas do.
heavy on the mild sauce. But yeah, man, as we end this always, please continue the conversation, join the movement, follow us on all the socials, man. You get Good in the Hood Pie on Instagram, Good in All Hoods on Twitter. You can email us at goodinallhoods at gmail.com.
Follow me at the crib, Joe.
At the crib, Joe. Greatest at name in the world, man. This bro at Jimmy Smooter with the IE no Y's. I'm at Juice JDP on Instagram and Twitter. Hit us up, man. Talk to us. And also, I'm a part of this network, this community that's out here trying to build brands. And as we build brands, we also creating content in the midst of it, and we welcoming other people to join that movement. Also, that's called the Blank Canvas Creators Network. Hit them up at BKC Network on Twitter and Instagram. Also, Blank Canvas Creators Group, that's also on Facebook, along with the Good in the Hood podcast group, man. Join the conversation, join the movement. Creators creating, I'm saying, we building brands, we building platforms for ourselves. Try to be entrepreneurs. entrepreneurs, I'm saying, they have that entrepreneurial mind state, that mind state of independence and freedom. We're trying to chase that, man. Pursuit of happiness on some Will Smith shit, you feel me? And with that being said, man, Juice, out. Smoother.
Out.
J Black.
Hashitashi.
That word.